I have
had so many comments about how much you guys...
Okay, I'm gonna watch that later. I just saw something that made me feel so much. There's. Just watch.
The Milky Way and its surrounding galaxies are all being dragged through space at more than 600 kilometers per second towards a giant galaxy cluster nicknamed the Great Attractor. And so the question is, when will we actually get there? Well, never is the short answer. While it is true that we are being attracted towards this galaxy grouping, we are travelling through space far too slowly to ever cross such an enormous distance. Due to the expansion of the universe, the space we'd need to travel through is increasing faster than we can overcome. We will never reach the Great Attractor or any galaxy outside of the local group, in fact. As such, the Milky Way's motion towards this cluster is more like a plant stretching.
No, you can't say things like this. You can't! This dude has like 600,000 subscribers and 114 videos. Possibly even sponsored by Brilliant, for all I know. And he just lied to you. I'm Simon Tracer, welcome to Science Me. So here's how the universe actually works. First of all, we are not in an expanding universe, because unfortunately people just forget the fact that stuff is going to move through space. It doesn't need dark energy to make that happen. But also, everyone knows that magnetism overpowers gravity. That's just one thing. And we're talking about a great attractor. Now, the motion of this, I have mentioned this so many times. When you look up the great attractor, which I did recently, well, I've been watching. Okay, that's cute. That one's cute. The anti-bullying one's also cute. Look, I've watched other videos about the great attractor. I've talked about it in my recent video. Here's the thing. We know. Okay. We know that, and we have tracked our motion towards it. There's no reason to just say dumbly that we're never gonna get there. Okay? It's already been documented we are moving there. So you're just flat out lying at this point. The other thing to notice is that this guy doesn't talk about the rate of the supposed expansion of the universe. Is it faster than 600 per second? Or are we like seriously needing to get our galaxy to not go towards this attractor because it's gonna be messy? Here's the thing. Rest assured, yeah, we're not gonna get there in our lifetime. We're not gonna get there for another quadrillion or whatever years. The universe is not expanding.
The Milky Way.
When the fuck was this post? Shut up. When was this shit posted? Last year. Oh. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that is so sad. He actually believes this. He still believes this. Look, I don't know if you understand this, but objects in space tend to keep moving because nothing is pulling on them, and guess what? There's a great attractor out there, it's pulling on them. It's the only thing that can basically do anything to anything in space in a large distance. We're not only seeing us move towards the great attractor, we're seeing everyone in the local group all be pulled in by this lightning motherfucker called the great attractor. It's freaking insane. This, okay, this little lightning ball, we are here. And I've talked about this before, but the fact is, stuff is being pulled into that. I don't know which video I saw. It doesn't show that same video again. But yeah, here it is. Okay, so
But what could be causing this in 600 kilometers? And yet it was enough to let us know that we were moving at 600 kilometers per second right towards the Centaurus constellation. This speed of 600 kilometers per second is precisely the Milky Way's peculiar velocity. It was like being lured by a cosmic magnet. But what could be causing this incredible speed?
yeah, anyway, so the point is, yeah, we're being sucked in by something over there. And the other ironic thing is, they say that this sucking is happening. Who is she? What? That's probably an ad. Where is the freaking... There's a great freaking... I don't... Who the fuck? Look, someone somewhere, maybe it wasn't this video, what the fuck? Maybe it's this one. Who the hell are you? I don't even remember. I don't remember you. That's probably why. It's Astrium. Oh yeah, with his bullshit.
Well,
Okay, so you look at this model here. Just fucking use your brain and look at this. Use your eyes.
That even though our galaxy is between
Okay, so this is a simulation based on projections. Based on, I don't know how much data they went through to be able to make a video of particles all moving towards this great attractor. This is estimated over like an insane time scale that I don't want to even talk about. It is going to happen eventually, and it's whatever. It don't matter. But like, goddamn, it's this is not just something that people made up out of nowhere. So when you say the universe is expanding so fast that we're never actually going to get to the great attractor, no. Just please stop and get some help. The only way you can say we're not going to get to the great attractor is if you said the universe is expanding faster than we're being pulled towards it. And even if the universe is expanding and it slows us down, we're still going to get there. But it's the fact that people are dumb enough to think the universe is actually expanding and it's accelerating. But here's the thing, every scientist has said the universe is expanding. So why am I so confident that it's not? All the stuff in the universe is spreading out. Just because it's all moving, based on all the initial conditions made it start moving in the first place. And like I said, unless something else pulls on it, an object in motion stays in motion unless otherwise affected by an outside force. So, yeah, great attractor, that's the outside force. You calculate that, you get the freaking actual trajectory of what's going on. You watch any of those videos and you'll end up hearing the proper predictions of like when we're going to get there. It's like quintillion years. It's nothing. There's so much time to wait for us to get there. But because the distance is so extremely vast, it doesn't change the fact that we're being dragged over there. Like, it's one thing to say blindly, yeah, we're expanding, so this can't possibly happen. But like, you have to say how far, like, even if we're being attracted to something, if we're going fast enough, like you can have magnets try to stop a bullet. It's not going to happen if the bullet's going fast enough, right? We could be that bullet. I'm not saying it's not impossible. I'm just saying we have done all these different measurements, come up to these conclusions, which I take blindly, but also it's kind of irrefutable. Although it's ironic that they say, I find it slightly ironic that they say that the Great Attractor is literally, like, compared to where we are, field of view is being blocked by the core of our galaxy. So, like, looking at something way over there, and there's this big wall there. It's called the center of our galaxy, and it's like someone putting a feather in front of the screen. Like, this is the black hole. I'm the Great Attractor. You can't see it because it's just a tiny little thing in front of this camera, but it comparatively, like, that's exactly how it is. We can't see it. But it'd be interesting to know, like, why would we not be able to see this Great Attractor, or something like it anywhere else in space? I mean, we have all the other field of view. We can look all around us, so why can't we see anything this big or this powerful? And the thing is, it doesn't have to be big. I've mentioned before that electromagnetism works as a fluid. So when we talk about all moving in one direction, there are two ways that happens. Either we're being attracted because of, magnetic forces and stuff, which is like, it's dumb to think that we are being attracted by something with a magnetic force from somewhere so far away, right? You think that's dumb, but I mean, we're in a galaxy, so that alone is over hundreds of light years across, thousands of light years across, or whatever. The galaxy is super huge, right? And we're being attracted to that, so just go up a couple more magnitudes and there's gotta be some way to do it. But the other idea, and this is not what actually is happening, and this is why I mention it, is that, like, unlike lightning, which is going in that direction and spreads out, like, this thing looks like lightning that is spreading out, right? But it's actually the opposite. These are all tiny little streams heading towards rivers, heading towards whatever is in that little point where the two rivers converge at the top left corner of the G. So, yeah, that's where we're headed. The thing about this is the other way it could happen is if something went in that direction and the eddy currents from that started pulling things towards whatever is attracting everything. And the eddy currents, the flow of the stuff that was following that stuff, basically just doesn't stop until everything in the nearby area is all flowed in that direction. But the thing is, you notice it can't that idea of us being like in the wake of something that was shot past us, and we're all being pulled and dragged into this direction wouldn't happen this way, because what's happening is like this whole freaking we're being pulled by stuff, other people are being pulled by in other direction, and it's all pulling and hitting here. So like it's not the wake of one object like I initially thought it could have been, right? Because some people thought it was that, or some people thought it could have been that. I can't quote them. I mean, I was one of them, so whatever. But it was an idea. It was something that could have been the case, but it's not, because it's just. But the thing is, once you have these established lines of motion where the river is just going to go in that direction, it kind of just doesn't want to veer off from that. And you don't have to be super strong to be able to create that. So like the moment it starts to attract things, it could also be the fact that it is attracting things. Like these tiny little arms, the tiniest little filaments are also being pulled towards this thing. It's like a collapsing it's not like a collapsing warp space. Again, it is like a magnetron type thing. It's like a magnetic flux line, right? You get enough objects out there that are all guiding electromagnetism as well, and you end up with this big river like that. But yeah, no, the problem is people think that the universe is expanding, and this has been a known fact, supposedly, for like so long. The problem is it's a myth. We are not expanding. Stuff is spreading out based on its natural speeds. It's already established speeds. So like, pretend you throw a wrench out in space. Unless there's some planet that can pull it towards itself, it's just going to keep going. Well, the planets and the galaxies are like that. They already started moving, and they are just going to keep moving unless, like, we get attracted to something. He made his video so short, I have to say it in so long. I don't know why. Yeah. I'm disturbed. I'm gonna have to debunk everything that's in his channel and ruin his career because he's a complete liar. But the problem is, it's not that he's lying on purpose. He's not. He's one of the majority who believes that the universe is expanding. We're really like we are genuinely including all of NASA in this stupidity. So I don't blame him for being dumb. I just blame him for, one, not even looking up any other sources for like how we are tracking our movement through space as a galaxy, and two, not even mentioning the rate of supposed expansion. Oh, and to be clear, the way that we find out the rate of motion through space or expansion is it's the exact same thing. We just track where we are compared to everything else. So if we find ourselves all seeming to move away in the same direction, in all in random, like everywhere, just all spreading out, it's mostly because stuff just wants to move around. And after given enough time, particles in a box are just gonna spread out, right? The universe is like that, in the fact that the stuff wants to just spread out. The only difference is now, like with an airlock, when you pull the airlock, air will flow in a great attractor type fashion, actually. It goes and it has a central column of motion. People out in space, they already understand this with airlocks. Like actual space walking people. The way that, like fluid dynamics, the way that that pulls is you have the central column of air. Everything around it is also follows through. And it's very much like what is happening with the Great Attractor. So it's just one level stronger, really, than any black hole. It's actually probably not even a black hole, is the thing. It could be a massive star. Right? It could be a massive star. That is actually crazy. Interesting thing about black holes, they are just empty space, but they are apparently massive, right? Like, I saw a video from Space-Time talking about black holes and how they have this big empty space that is the projected, like, they talked about the lack of singularity, and like, yeah, no, there isn't a freaking singularity. The fact that something is orbiting something in such a perfect circular way, and then you reverse it back into assuming there's a singularity in the middle, yeah, no. You don't have to be that kind of dumb to think that there ever was a singularity. Because like the gravitational center of things, like it's interesting to note the gravitational center of the entire solar system is slightly adjacent to the sun. It's not in the middle. The sun is not the center of our... The sun is not the center point of our solar system, because all the other mass, including Jupiter, is also pulling stuff. So when you balance it all together, you calculate it properly, then you understand the center of the solar system, our solar system, is slightly away from the sun. It's like, sun is here, we're orbiting this. An empty spot that makes no sense, because this is where everything is pulling around. And if you understand that, if you understand that we are orbiting around nothing, we're not orbiting around the sun, we're orbiting around nothing. Your mind is just like, how? That's because everything else is also pulling. So when you think about the accumulative effect of everything, you end up with a great attractor. In our own solar system, which occupies a space that we literally, there's nothing there. There is nothing there. It's just like how you have Lagrange points, and how like the difference between the gravity of the moon and the gravity of the Earth and all of that, you end up with these Lagrange points. If you don't know what those mean, it's basically the along with the gravity of the moon and the planet Earth, and I think the sun also has to do with it and other things. There's this point out where it's like you can be so far away from the planet and the moon, and you're still like tidally locked to the planet or something. That it's not, you're not going to go further away, and you're not going to go closer. It's called the Lagrange point. Really interesting. It's a point out in space that is not based on any object, it's based on multiple objects. The cumulative effect of both of them. So these random points are everywhere. And the thing is, if we're orbiting something, right, that is, we are literally, like in our own solar system, orbiting a non-point, like a non-object, because it is a combination of the sun and Jupiter's gravity and everything's gravitational influence. Like, we're all pulling towards each other and moving. So if you think about it, if everyone's pulling, it's like little rubber bands all pulling in all directions, and we're all twisting, and we're all just going in our direction out in the solar system's moving through the galaxy thing. It'd be interesting to think of what is the next, like, is our solar system in our own galaxy going to collide with any other solar system? And it doesn't seem to be the case. But it makes you wonder, because what if black holes don't even exist? What if black holes are Lagrange points? Lagrange. Lagrange points. A point where everything is being attracted, but it's only based on the motion of all the other stuff. What if black holes don't even exist as we think of them? Well, they do. So, they do. Shush, shush. I'm not saying black holes don't exist. I'm saying, what if the great attractor is the black hole? What if it's a collection of all these other things that are around it that happen to have influence themselves and are amplifying the influence of the supposed great attractor. Because it could still be the fact that, like, if you get enough light enough elements that can be attracted to this great attractor and start the flow going, depends on how all it works. It could be still something like that, but it's like there are the structure of this thing is crazy. The structure of this thing is absolutely nuts. The scale of this is like, if one pixel is a galaxy, the rest of it is all the rest of the cosmos that's in the nearby area. And that's not even lightning, that's a freaking that's something out in space, and we are a tiny dot. Our galaxy is a tiny dot on that picture. Like any one of the tiny little dots. So it's nuts. Lagrange points are freaking crazy, and the fact that the accumulative gravity of everything in the solar system makes a point that we're orbiting that is not the sun makes absolute sense to anyone who thinks about how all objects have gravity and are affecting each other. It's like, it's not like it's like how they say, you're not just being pulled by the earth, you are pulling the earth. Your gravity is minuscule, but you're still, your body, you're still pulling on the earth. Right? It's not just that it's moving through space and you're being smacked towards it, although that is exactly what is happening. Apparently there is still this actual attractive function, which is gravity. And it's crazy to think they did an experiment where just a 14-pound or kilogram, I shouldn't say pound, proper measurements, 14-kilogram object pulling a ping pong ball. Like, I've been talking about this for a while, because it's like the biggest thing since spandex. That's the fact that you can have just an object in a room and it will pull something towards it. And I don't think it's actually magnetism at all doing it, is what they say. Right? Could be magnetism, I don't know. Like, it's curious. Anyway. Yes, we are being pulled towards the great attractor. That's the end of that discussion. Like, ugh. It'd be interesting to see, like, there's the great attractor, and if you zoom out even further, what the rest of the cosmos looks like around the great attractor. Like a proper, like there's this cluster, and it's all collapsing here, but there's all this other stuff, and it's all stable and nice. Can we see that also? Because we can. We're like on the edge of this whole effect. We should be able to see what the heck is going on. Ironically, the fact that the black hole of our own galaxy is blocking our vision, is like, yeah, we could use X-rays to go through that and maybe see what the great attractor is like. The other thing is, if we wait like a few billion years, we'll be on the other side of the galaxy because we orbit that in a wobbly fashion. And then we'll be able to see it just fine. It just happens that this is the wrong time of year. I mean, if you think about it as a planetary orbit, then we orbit around the sun and stuff yearly, whatever. But like, yeah, this is the wrong time of the season of. I mean, you think about it, it is a year, right? What do you call the full orbit around? Like, there's another word for that. It's like galactic year, right? There, there's the solar system, our solar system year, which is just our our planet's specific year cycle. Like you go and look at Mars, it has a totally different year cycle. It orbits a full round in 2 of our years. But like a galactic year would be the total of our solar system going around the galaxy. Did you find this educational? Did you find it interesting? Do you hate the fact that the guy said something so dumb? I don't like it. I don't want to have to listen to stuff like this, but I do because I want to know what people are thinking and maybe be able to shed some light on the stuff that they are. But the thing is, I'm not getting views from my science videos. I'm getting views from my freaking sandwiches. You guys like my food more than my brains. Okay? That's how you are. Because I don't present my brains as good as my food. I don't even present my food very well, so that says a lot. Recently I've been looking at my TikTok and I've been popping off. I have made just a few recently, and they are up to 1,000 views, and I feel good about that. I'm a tiny creator, okay? My creator status is only one thing, but my scientific status is a completely other thing. And my ability to actually make presentations are crap, but my ability to know stuff is not crap. It's not. It's just I can't stand it. I just can't. Anyway, oh my god. I would love to ask Kyle Hill what he thinks about this guy's statement that we're not going to go towards the great attractor, even though we have been documented as moving towards the great attractor. I'm just spitting. Whatever. What the hell? Half hour long? Sheesh. Okay, cool. Whatever. That's all the time I need to put in towards this. Some people say, oh, you have no life. Well, you talked about a freaking animation for 45 minutes. Why do you talk so much about all this stuff that's like, dude, for a 4 minute long animation that was about metagaming, but I ripped apart every last little bit of what the hell was happening. And let me make it clear, I don't have a problem with Zibishu. He's cool. He is. Where the fuck is this video? Where's my Bishu? Where the actual fuck is the Bishu? Wait, what the fuck? Where's Bishu? My entire TikTok is up here. Where's Bishu? Hello? I did a gigantic rant about Bishu. Where the fuck is the video? Oh, the Larry Table reaction. Yeah, that's the fucking worst thumbnail ever. Holy shit. Okay, it's not the worst thumbnail ever, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I want to steal one of his thumbnails and use that as a thumbnail. But that's not a terrible thumbnail, because I'm still looking at everything that is Bishu. I love that guy. I'm not saying I don't love that guy. I'm just saying he did one video and it made me upset. It made me so upset, I made a freaking hour-long video about it. This doesn't even grant that much attention. I play games more than this. Whatever. Toodles. Check out the playlist of Science Me where this will be and blah blah blah. I need a reaction channel playlist.